Your ability to be able to convey your ideas in a way that others find attractive and compelling, that skill is absolutely foundational to any kind of career success.
How was the jump from marketing to HR?
I never did a day of marketing in my entire life.
In order to be a better leader, you have to be a better communicator.
Leadership essentially is the skill you use to drive superior results through other people.
HR, and then there's Toastmasters. Does it make a difference?
Oh yeah, huge.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Toastcasters, the official podcast of District 122P, Toastmasters, Pakistan. And today we have a very enthusiastic guest with us. We have Jalal Curmally serving as the HR head at EFU Life. Jalal has a vast experience of 23 years dealing with the most important resource at anywhere, the human resource. You telling in an interview that you had an marketing educational background from IBA. And
That's
now
right.
you're the head of HR at EFU.
Oh, it was a long, twisting journey.
So how was the jump from marketing to HR?
I never did a day of marketing in my entire life. Marketing की degree है. मैंने ज़िंदगी में marketing का एक काम नहीं किया मैंने. I started off my career with Tracker. I was one of the first few employees hired there. I did vehicle tracking, fleet management, operations. रात के 3 बजे चोरी की हुई गाड़ियाँ वो recover करवाई. On C-Track, I had a background in theatre and acting. तो उस वक्त मीडिया का दौर था under Musharraf. All the new television channels were coming up. तो 9 to 5 नौकरी छोड़ी और television और media में घुस गए. And I did a lot of TV shows, I did a lot of Eid specials, I did a lot of that for about 2.5 years. उसके बाद फिर management और strategy consulting की. वहाँ से मैंने HR सीखा.
अच्छा.
वहाँ से फिर मुझे HR समझ में आई. And I said, all right, no, I want to make a career in this. And then I started doing HR consulting.
Oh, nice.
Then one of my clients at the time, EFU Life, the then CEO, made me an offer. I refused.
Okay.
I rejected politely, of course. 2 years later, so when the opportunity came again, I was just like, yaar, one time, okay. Second time, Allah jute marega, because this is clearly meant to be. ये दूसरी दफा मेरे रास्ते में आया, इसमें कोई अल्लाह का कुछ करना है.
There were signs.
I went to the interview. I met the then CEO, Mr. Tahir Sachik, an amazing gentleman, amazing professional. So I met him, spoke with him. We discussed the future direction and the trajectory that he wanted and the vision that he had for the HR function. And it aligned very closely with my thoughts at the time of what I felt HR in Pakistan ought to be. And so he made me an offer. I accepted, eyes closed. And I've been in EFU Life as the head of HR ever since. It's been 10 years.
10 years, a decade. Usually, if they're talking about HR, they say, "Nee, HR is a very dry part of the company."
They also say it's women's work.
Actually, they do.
Right.
Actually, they do that.
HR में सिर्फ लड़कियां जाती हैं.
The first time you're talking to someone, you say, I'm doing a job. Is it in HR? The first question. The first assumption. Is it in HR? Are you in HR?
Yes. हालांकि some of the most powerful and the most experienced HR heads right now are men.
Yes, true.
In my experience, I've not seen a correlation between your gender and your ability to be emotionally intelligent. I would say both men and women are equally good and equally bad at it. I think it just differs from person to person.
So,
Everybody has their development areas. Why? Can I give you a little bit of a theory here?
Sure.
It's only now, very recently, that more and more women like yourself are entering into corporate life, are entering into the professional fields. It wasn't so in the past. Corporate Pakistan, professional Pakistan has almost always been predominantly a male-dominated field. But as more and more women get higher education and they seek to enter the workforce, they're getting experienced on these things. It's just that but by that time, men are carrying a tremendous amount of inertia and legacy behind them.
True.
So they get the opportunities faster than men. It's sad. It should not be that way. It's a sad fact of life. So men get more opportunities for training to develop the skill than women do. Women also suffer a little bit in the middle because as they are progressing in their career and just as they're starting to to really develop these essential core competencies and the skill set and the mindset that goes along with that competency, they have to take career breaks, either for marriage or for childbirth or to take care of family. Because women also carry the load of being the primary caregiver in the house, for example. And then not very many women then actually are able to effectively make the return back. But those that do, that are able to balance family and professional life, or who take a break, prioritize the family, but then ease their way back into professional life and pick up their careers from where they left off, these women walk in and they're very formidable in their skill sets. So they've actually, in fact, with the gentleman outside, we were talking about how skill sets can transfer from your personal life into your professional life. And things that you learn at home, you can apply at work and vice versa. So these women then actually do tend to be very, very good at balancing the professional with the personal. It's just experience and time. You learn how to do it. And somebody has to give you the opportunity to learn to do it.
It's just how you mold your skill set from one thing to another.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So again, talking about HR is the one department that has to see how the employees are developing and how they are actually giving feedbacks to people, evaluating them. So it works on both end. Internally भी उसमें communication skills की ज़रूरत है और they also have to see if the employees are working on themselves or their skill set is usable for the company and all. So talking about communication, developing that skill set, how important it is for both as an HR and as the HR looking out for people in the company.
Okay, so let me just broaden the scope there a little bit. I'd say forget HR for any profession. Or that could be accounting, it could be admin, it could be core sales, marketing, anything, or operations even, or manufacturing, anything. Your essential interpersonal skills, now whether it could be written or verbal communication, what you have to say, how you say it, how you communicate it, where you communicate it. Absolutely, utterly foundational towards career success. If you have any kind of career aspiration or ambition to grow in whatever field it is in which you're working, there is no getting around the necessity of being able to carry a thought, an opinion, a voice, advice, or an idea, and then to convey it in a way to an audience or to an individual in a way that is compelling, in a way that attracts interest or even agreement, in a way that is able to bring other people along with you. That skill, which we just sort of give it a thappa and उसपे डब्बे में डाल के उसको कहते थे ये communication है. But just your ability to be able to convey your ideas in a way that others find attractive and compelling. That skill is absolutely foundational to any kind of career success.
Any person.
Any person, anywhere. And by that, then I don't mean HR.
So one thing, like if I'm relating to HR's hiring and hiring criterias and what they're looking in people. So people come with different technical backgrounds,
Correct.
different educational backgrounds. So when you're interviewing someone, when you're asking them questions, after the technical part, do you look at that scope के इसमें soft skills कितने हैं? Is he able to present himself or herself rightly? And I also want to know if sometime a person had a great skill set, technical side पे, educational side पे, but they lacked in their communication. So if you had to drop them or you couldn't get their point or you had to lay them or say no to them in after the interview, कभी ऐसे हुआ है?
कि भाई बंदा टेक्निकली साउंड था लेकिन उसकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स नहीं
Communication skills. अब
थी
ना वो
वर्सेस
express
समवन
नहीं।
जो कि टेक्निकली इतना साउंड नहीं है लेकिन उसकी कम्युनिकेशन बहुत जबरदस्त है
हाँ।
नौकरी किसको मिलेगी
किसको मिलेगी?
कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स obviously because you see technical skills can be trained you can be coached in that you can learn that on the job but if like I said your ability there's certain essential interpersonal skills that you need to have communication emotional intelligence, resilience. These are core interpersonal skills that every professional needs to cultivate in order to have a successful career. Technically, even if you are okay, we can make you excellent. We can teach you. There are ways to teach the work. I work in life insurance. Life insurance is not taught in business schools today. You go to any finance background, you don't get people who know what insurance is, let alone how life insurance works, which is in and of itself a very specialized form of insurance. So everyone we get, they're all fresh. They're all technically, they don't know. I mean, suna tha,
लेकिन पता नहीं था.
lekin pata nahi tha. Unless you're an actuary. Unless you're an actuary, then of course, obviously, you know. So when you just pick up, say, anyone from, say, one of the top 3 business schools of Pakistan, just fresh out of their BBA, we induct them into the organization. There's still a 6-month training period to get people technically proficient.
All right.
So why are we picking up these people only from the top 3 business schools?
Why?
Right, because of their grooming.
Because they're not only working on...
Because it's not just what they know technically. They have that skill set. They've worked on building up their professional competencies. They've worked on building up their ability to communicate well. They've worked on building up their ability to deliver results, to work hard. They have that polish. जिसको हम कहते हैं grooming हुई है. Polish होके बंदा निकला है. What does that mean? What do those words mean? That they carry themselves a certain way and they have a certain amount of skill set. That's why these people are preferred.
What percentage would you give to that grooming, polishing, and the hiring process? Like
I said, if there are 2 people, now let's just say that I interview 2 people. Both the people have the same level of technical expertise. But one person is more polished and one person is less polished, right? Then I would introduce a third factor. I wouldn't just look at these 2 factors. Because again, polish is also something that you can learn.
Right.
Right? Okay, fine. Technically, you're both. I would look at good cultural and team fit. So let's say, for example, that you have somebody who is technically okay, itna polished nahi hai, but is an excellent in terms of their attitude, in terms of the way they think, the value they add to the organization, and that their personal values align very clearly with our organizational values, in that they value dignity, integrity, honesty, they value being a part of an inclusive, open culture. Which are EFU Life's organizational values. And I see that there is a value, culture-based alignment there. Then on the basis of a cultural fit, I would choose the person who's less polished. So you see, so if the choice is that you have somebody who's technically okay, that person, his skill set is amazing, but culturally, he's arrogant, he's not a team player, doesn't really fit. You're not so sure that he's actually going to do things that would take instruction from their supervisor. It's just going to be a headache to manage. So then probably you would not be hiring that person. Because all of these other things, as long as your HR is alert and you are investing constantly, whether through training and development programs or through coaching and mentoring, formal and informal and on the job, तो फिर आप वो चीजें बना सकते हैं. When it comes down to designing people's learning, we typically use 70-20-30.
Okay.
70-20-10, sorry, 70-20-10. 70% of your learning is on the job.
All right.
20% you're going to get, अच्छा यार हम तुम्हें training में भेज रहे हैं, ये seminars attend कर लो, etc. 10 you're going to get from a coach or a mentor.
Coach or mentor.
And that's how you develop.
So talking about development and training and everything, recently EFU has shake hands with Toastmasters.
Yeah, we're very excited. We're very happy about that.
It's not been that long, but what made you go that path? Because in Toastmasters, we are also working on personal growth, development, soft skill sets, leadership skills, communication skills. We're all focusing on that. And that is very much aligned with the trainings that HR is.
Yeah. The leader, I don't know if you've seen the membership of the EFU Life Toastmasters Club. It's not junior employees.
It's the senior membership.
Half of the membership of the EFU Life Toastmasters Club are either channel heads or heads of departments.
And why is that?
Because EFU Life believes in what I just said. That your ability... Okay, what's the tagline for Toastmasters, by the way?
Where leaders are made.
Where leaders are born.
Yes.
We are looking at Toastmasters, and we see Toastmasters as an essential component, a very prestigious, high-level component, but also an essential component of building the sort of leaders we want in the organization.
Now, how do you think it will help that? This platform will help that? You've gone through a meeting, I believe. And
Yeah, I've attended
the
2-3
concept
meetings
behind-
now.
yes.
Yeah.
So, how do you think this can help them
Oh,
getting to that getting those leadership skills?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. In order to do that, let's just take a look at what is it that a leader does.
They lead, they guide people, they...
How do they guide people? कबूतर की टांग पे फर्रा पार के कबूतर फेंकते हैं,
नहीं,
ईमेल फेंकते हैं, व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज आते हैं.
They tell them what to do by showing them
No,
what
a
to do.
manager tells them what to do.
by showing
No,
them what
that's
to do.
management. That's not leadership.
Okay.
That's management. That's not leadership. What does a leader do?
All right, I'm getting
Management tells you the how.
Leadership shows
Leadership
you.
tells you the why, where we're going, what we're doing, we call it the vision. A leader's primary role is to communicate a vision, the grand
Right.
idea, and to do it in a way, to communicate in a way that is compelling, that makes other people say, I want to follow him. Because I want to be a part of that person's team. I want to work hard for him or her. I want to go out and achieve and do the things that he's saying that we should do, because his leadership vision is just so amazing. I feel like I want to be a part of it.
The leader inspires
How do you inspire?
by showing them, by doing it yourself.
Yesterday in the Toastmasters meeting, there was a very interesting presentation where somebody talked about something that I don't think enough people talk about, but that gentleman really hit the nail on the head. He talked about executive presence. And that's specifically one of the core elements in our leadership development framework at EFU Life that we want to build through Toastmasters. It's not just about your ability to talk like the way you and I are, or to communicate ideas or to vision, but to have a presence about you. You walk into the room, you look across the table and you see that person is a leader in EFU Life. Now that person hasn't opened their mouth or said a word, but just by looking at that person there, you know.
That aura.
Because they have that presence. Now, how do you build that presence? Why is executive presence so important at a leadership level? And it takes years to achieve it, to build your way up to it. And we understand that, absolutely. We're willing to invest that in our leadership, in our people. Executive presence is your ability to command a room, to convey confidence, to convey and then give evidence of competence. The CEO of Mobile Inc. Was giving a talk in Lums, I think in January when I was there. He was dressed in jeans and a polo shirt, and he had a bottle of water. He was clearly coming from the gym or some other physical activity. But he commanded the room.
Just by his presence.
He didn't need to say anything. We knew that's the CEO. I mean, we knew he was on the day plan. We knew he was coming. But when he spoke, and there weren't junior people sitting in my classroom. They were in the classroom that I was in. We were all of us heads of departments without exception. No one junior was sitting there. But when the CEO of Jazz spoke, or when my CEO speaks, when he walks into a room, we all know. He doesn't need to say anything. That's presence. Why? He commands that, or like you said, that aura. But it's not just confidence, it's competence. You know that the person sitting in front of you knows what they're talking about. You can trust their advice. You see the vision. It's compelling. You want to follow that person. how do you learn to carry yourself and to convey yourself in that way? Everyone in EFU life, I'm sure majority of them in EFU life, we all know how to make a presentation. We all know how to stand in front of a group full of people and talk.
But how important it is that it is communicated effectively. Everyone can make a presentation. Everyone can stand. But how important it is that it is conveyed effectively. What is in your head is going on, coming out of your mouth properly.
And now you get it. And now you get it.
Yes.
Our CEO, our CEO said it clearly. If he says of himself and his own journey towards becoming CEO, said that if he had to pick one skill that in his career was a game changer, that helped make him the CEO of EFU Life, one of the largest, one of the most leading private sector life insurance companies in this entire country. And he said it was his ability to speak in front of an audience and to do it in a way that was engaging.
Can you shed light on that?
For him, he said it was a game changer. It completely changed his career.
Can you shed the light on that? In order to be a better leader, you have to be a better communicator. Can you shed the light on that? Any instance?
I would say Mia Bibi. To give a crude example, pardon my bad manners, you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other. I'm sorry, there's no leadership without your ability to be a compelling communicator. You're not. You're not.
And that is why EFU has...
Leadership revolves around other people. Leadership essentially is the skill you use to drive superior results through other people. It is an interpersonal skill.
So do you plan on having the other, like the junior people or the mid-level manager?
30 to 40% of our club membership are future leaders.
So you're preparing them?
Yes. So it's not just that we have sare badde babe or senior people who achieved a certain level of success in their career, unse club banaya. No. We have left room for the young upcoming, the future generation of leaders to also start learning this skill. So our club membership is made up of a mixture of both.
All right.
And it's also, HR has a...
crucial role.
Well, no. We have yes, of course, but you're right. But we have another interest because you see, through their participation, the young leaders, emerging leaders who are coming up in the organization, वो HR की नजर में जल्दी आते हैं. Because you see, वो दूसरे department में छुपे हुए हैं ना. HR को नजर नहीं आता. But through EFU Life Toastmasters, through the nomination, and we didn't let anyone join in. There was a filtering criteria. You had to pass through those filters before the company nominated because the company is paying for it.
Yeah.
EFU Life carries the cost of the Toastmasters membership for every organization.
So what was the criteria?
For every member of the club. So that means we only wanted the best of the best. And then now that they're in the club, we get to see them perform, we get to see them grow. So tomorrow when there's something happening, we say, ye banda ya bandi is department बैठी है, give them this project, give them this special assignment. It's a way for the young people to stand out to the leadership of the organization and be recognized. Otherwise, you're just hiding in your department.
It's setting them apart from the others.
And giving them an opportunity to shine and to grow. So there is that, but it's not an objective, it's a side effect.
Yeah, it is.
It's a side effect. The objective is to build leadership capacity through improving your communication and your spoken skills.
So what was the criteria? What was the basic?
Why don't you become a member of EFU Life and then I'll tell you.
When are you
You've got to let me keep some secrets. But we had a very rigorous criteria.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you give me an example or tell any story जहाँ पे लगा हो कि if there was better communication, things would have been gone. Any conflicting situation, any team conflicts, जहाँ लगा हो कि communication बेहतर हो सकती थी.
I'll give you my own example. Early on in my career, when I had just become manager, I thought management was all about giving orders and telling people, this is the project, this is the project plan, these are your deliverables, this is your expectation, etc. Everybody, you have your tasks, go do it. Masla ho bata dena, otherwise don't bother me. I've got my own work to do. That was me. And then obviously all the team felt abandoned. There was very little to no team cohesion. And people started, obviously, they don't feel supported. So somebody else stepped up from within the team to fill the void that I had left by my silence and say, yaar, main sambhalunga, main dekh lunga, yaar, ye Jalal ko chodo. And then I would lose my temper at them. So essentially, it's not that I miscommunicated. It's that my communication from the team was absent completely. It's only when I started engaging with people as people and treating them not just as a team, treating them not just as individuals, but as a team entirely, where we are achieving much more than what either one of us could do. Just you kehte hain, saath leke chalo. And that's when I learned to do that. And I learned it by failing miserably a couple of times, being given good advice by my mentors, listening to what they had to say, and then figuring out what my own communication style was. And then applying it, getting it wrong constantly, and then figuring out just what a very important thing I was missing in my own development as a manager and a leader. There is no one, I would say everybody seems to ask me these questions like these. I get the feeling that they're looking for some sort of a secret formula. There isn't one. You learn it by getting punched in the face by your failures and mistakes. You learn it by falling down and getting up. You learn it by doing it again and again and again, improving, seeking and taking good advice, applying that, improving one step at a time until you get it right. And then when you get it right, you realize, oh no, ye to bismillah thi. You have to do it again and again and again and again and again.
Consistency is very important.
Consistency.
You've seen that if there's a training, this HR is conducting a training for their employees on a lot of things, is delegation, negotiation, etc., etc. There are a lot of things. So it is a one-time thing. Trainer आता है 2 घंटे बाद समझाता है, and then there's Toastmasters. It's going on and on and on and on and on until maybe baby steps, but it's going on. So,
right. Yeah.
Does it make a difference?
Oh yeah, huge. Look, a trainer at best, a trainer is like someone jo aapke dimag mein they will plant a seed, a drop, something for you to think about. And with the passage of time, as you reflect upon what the trainer has said, तो फिर शायद maybe अगर आप खुश नसीब हैं तो दिमाग के पर्दे शायद खुल जाएं थोड़े से. Toastmasters takes a completely different approach. In my view, a very powerful approach. What Toastmasters says is take one baby step forward and do it again and again and again till you get it right. You got good at taking that first step? Congratulations. Here's an entire pathway. It's made up of all these little steps. Now you take step 2 in your pathway and you do it and you get it right. And at each time you are taking feedback from other people. But here's what makes, in my view, Toastmasters such a powerful tool for professional development, for personal grooming and personal growth, is that the people you're taking feedback from are on the same journey that you are on. So you're helping each other. The strengths that I have, somebody else doesn't. I can add that value to them, but that other person has strengths I don't. They're seeing things I'm not, and they're adding value to me. And you take advice from other people. That's why we have all these roles in Toastmasters. That's why we have evaluators. That's why we have I hate the R counter so much. R counter and the timer. Oh my God.
They show you the mirror.
Oh, instantly. And there's no mercy. No rehem. Immediately.
They tell you.
I mean.
You think that, I'm so good at talking. And then they tell you, you have
and then
these
that red card goes up and goes, oh no. Right? So that's why the Toastmasters methodology is just so compelling, so powerful, is because it's communal learning. You're in a supportive environment. You're getting positive feedback from other people. who are on the same journey as you are at every step of the way. And you're not making, say, an overnight guru.
Yeah.
You are taking
Working on
one step,
yourself.
you work on it, you get good at it. And then you build upon that level of success and achieve a higher level of success.
Yeah.
And it's we as a community, we as a club work to uplift in each other. No one's no one's competing. It's one journey. We all have our journeys and we're all
And there are no
supporting each other
shortcuts.
to get there. And there's no shortcuts. You
There are no
have to
shortcuts.
start from one.
You have to work on yourself from the very scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So, how has been Toastmasters treating you all till now? Like, have you noticed any improvements or in yourself, in your peers, in the juniors?
Well, you know Toastmaster Talha?
Yes.
He was my evaluator for my icebreaker. So you can imagine the level. Talha's very good. He was very positive. He was gentlemanly throughout. But he's given me feedback twice now. The first time I got feedback from Toastmasters was when I attended the Karachi Toastmasters Club meeting at the PACC.
Right.
So on the table talk, he says, well, you're a visitor, so I'm sorry, you have no choice, you have to come up. So I talked, and then they said, yeah, but you put your hand in your pocket too much. And I'm like, oh. And then this time when I gave my icebreaker, Talha says, yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was very compelling. It was a very complicated speech. There were multiple layers that you were working off of. Delivery was good. But you know what? You didn't command your space. There was a certain amount of space within. He said, your storytelling was very compelling, but you had all this space that you could have played with. Do something with it. And I was just like, I have been making presentations, giving public speaking on multiple forums my entire career. It just never clicked with me.
You wouldn't have realized it
Yeah.
until someone told you.
Until somebody had to tell you. And that's the beauty of Toastmasters.
So talking about these evaluations, you see they go from speeches to impromptu to evaluations. And they tell you how to give evaluation. How important is that?
Oh, the ability to give and get good feedback? Absolutely essential towards growth. Is very important. I wish I could say more about that, but I haven't had the opportunity to be an evaluator yet.
But as an HR professional,
Oh yeah, feedback's absolutely essential.
because you have to tell employees how they're working, what their competencies
हम
are.
पैदा नहीं हुए थे शीशे के सामने ना. There's no mirror in front of us where the only mirror we have on how we're performing
But
is other people.
But the way Toastmasters tell you how to show that mirror.
Right. Their feedback methodology.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very constructive, very supportive, very nurturing, very positive.
And how can you imply that on...
We all do performance appraisals.
Yeah.
As managers and leaders, we have teams under us. We give live performance feedback to our employees, not just once a year, but every day we're giving feedback. So how can you give honest feedback and tell somebody honestly what happened and how they need to improve it, but to do it in a way that is positive and nurturing and supportive?
that they don't feel offended.
Yeah, exactly. Inoffensive. Yeah, these are excellent skills. So these remember we were saying skills are transferable, you can apply them everywhere. Well, this is a skill. You learn that as an evaluator in Toastmasters. It just makes you a better manager and a better leader. Performance appraisals to karne na tumne.
Very good.
You apply that level of giving feedback to people.
And that is what I'm asking, that how important it is. Na?
Absolutely. Again, essential interpersonal skills. The ability to give and receive. Giving feedback is easy. Anyone can give feedback. Receiving it, oh boy.
But receiving positively is very hard. Receiving, you have to receive if you're
we
a
all
subordinate.
want positive feedback, and positive feedback has its own place, and it is absolutely essential also. But the
it does tell you how,
constructively
yeah,
positive feedback, is it constructive?
how to make it more constructive. That is the real
And
thing.
sometimes that constructive feedback need not necessarily be positive.
True.
Could be negative.
True.
And that's the one that hurts. That's the one everyone is afraid of and runs from. It takes patience, not just to give feedback, but to receive it also. And it takes an open mind. And it takes, most importantly, it takes a willingness and a desire to learn and improve. We're all on this Toastmasters journey because we're choosing our paths. And we've left it open to club members to choose their own paths. To set. Why? Because ultimately we realize it's your personal journey. The only person you're running this race against is yourself. And the only person you have to beat is yourself. You have to be better today than you were yesterday. And you have to remember and work hard because then you will be better tomorrow. And that's a journey nobody else can make for you. That's your personal journey.
You have to do it yourself.
So we let people choose their paths and move on.
So, since you've been a part of Toastmasters for some time now, what has been your key takeaway?
Command the space. No, I'm joking. Wow, there have been so many. I mean, for me, the journey started in Feb, and we're sitting in August, and we've got a corporate club. I think what I was most taken and surprised by was when we announced the EFU Live Toastmasters Club that we were going to be seeking a charter in the company town hall. And we announced that in March. March or April, we had the town hall. And then I said, hey, on this day, HR form khol dega, nominate yourselves, and write down in that form, as part of the evaluation criteria, people had to write down how Toastmasters membership would be adding value to them as people and to their careers, both. And I was reading what my employees were writing. These are people who were applying to become a part of EFU Live Toastmasters Club. Probably had never been a part of Toastmasters at all. But we had explained to them in the town hall what Toastmasters is. And we'd shown videos, and Azim and I, our president Azim, we had talked and explained it to the employees. When I read their applications, it was so illuminating. I went back to Azim and I was like, Azim, we need a second club. 30 लोगों से काम नहीं चलेगा, because I'm looking at all of these people and they're all making really compelling, heartfelt arguments. We, as a company, we need to do something for them.
Anyone that hit hard on you?
Many, but ultimately it's confidential. But there were.
Anyone that, without saying the names and all.
I think the thing that
any idea that hit you that, oh, this is a very key aspect.
You know, the thing that really got me a lot was just how worried people were about their teams.
Okay.
Yeah, but am I good enough for them? I love my team, but am I a good leader or a manager for them? I don't know. I really need to improve. So that desire to improve their abilities. And then there are other people who have been like, people who felt that they weren't where they ought to be in their lives or their careers simply because they could not express their thoughts properly.
The importance of putting your thoughts into words.
And the one that really hit me hard was, I'm very happy in my job and where I am in my career, etc. But if I learn how to do this, maybe things will improve for me at home.
Oh. Personal and professional.
Yeah. Transferable skills. So that kind of stood out. It was just like, wow, people know just how important it is to be able to have that ability. Just thinking about that poor man is making me lose my own words. But that hit. That really hit. I went back to Zima, we need another club. They said, okay, let's just make sure that our first club is successful. And we're going to work very hard as an organization to show that EFU Life's Toastmasters Club is a very prestigious and a golden opportunity for you to develop these skills in a very supportive and a nurturing environment. And we're going to show results.
True.
And then we're going to go back to the CEO and say, yeah, we need another one. because we want to give this opportunity to as many people in the organization as possible.
That's a very, very nice thought. Talking about that person who wants his personal life better, there's a section of impromptu speaking in the meeting,
Yeah.
and people are very shy in the first time. I do remember someone saying, "Okay, koi baat nahi, aa jaye. It will help you at home too." When your wife asks that, "Am I looking pretty?" or "Where were you?" or "Why are you late?" or "Does this make me look fat?" So, जी कोई बात नहीं, घर पे भी काम आएगा, आप आ जाए बस. So that made me remember that thing.
You remember your first table talk?
I do remember, and it was on how would you define peace?
So how would you define peace, Ikra?
I was very dumbstruck at a moment because I hadn't thought that peace could be defined.
Oh.
I thought that, okay, peace is maybe you're taking rest from something, or you're putting everything aside and setting aside, or maybe taking time out for yourself, but that isn't peace. That is just
Yeah.
a break. And I realized very later that peace comes internally when you're satisfied with yourself. When you know that you've given all your best to something and then leave it in the hands of Alamia. Okay, all right, I'm done. I'm at peace with myself, and it's my 100%.
Right.
And now it's in your hands. It's not in mine anymore.
Yeah, that's serenity. Yeah, that's peace. That's peace. Good, good. Yeah, that's a good definition, I'd say.
So that throwing off is giving peace to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're taking it out of your mind.
It is in your hands now, Lord. I've done the best I can. Ab Allah ke haath mein.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
there is a great serenity in that.
Yeah.
That's a good definition. That's a good definition. That's Toastmasters. I don't think you would have been able to define
Yeah.
it. So now you understand what I mean by compelling speech.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to you and to the way that you were communicating with me just now. And I could get that sense and that of emotion and feeling behind the words that you were using. And I don't think you would have been able to do that on your very first day.
I wasn't the first time. I was very dumbstruck. Like,
Right?
That is the word that you've been since grade 1. You're using it, peace and everything.
Yeah.
Word peace, mental peace. Surrounding nature wali peace, it's all there, but when you think about it, that how you are going to define it, because it's subjective to everyone. Now, how you're going to define it, so you don't find the words,
Yeah.
you're not able to express yourself,
Yeah.
because you don't even know it has to be defined, but now I can.
And now you can. And what's more, you can communicate that.
Yeah.
That definition.
I'm able to express it to you, and you're able to understand.
We're going to open up what we're going to do. I mean, our next meeting is tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. We invited all the employees.
All right.
We just sent out an open invitation. जिसके पास time है, जो भी आना चाहता है, जो भी देखना चाहता है, आ जाओ. And if we have enough of an audience, then we open up table talk to audience members, even if you're not a part of the club. आ जाओ.
That is nice.
So at least 2-3 table talks people can do.
So, like, wrapping it up, I would want that to know that if you would suggest other corporate sectors or other companies to have this platform, and how would it help them, I would want your insights on that.
I would absolutely strongly recommend it. And for all the reasons that we've been discussing as a part of this conversation, of just how essential and foundational it is towards building future managers and future leaders, speaking from an HR and a corporate perspective. But I would also make another recommendation. If you're considering setting up a corporate club, I would recommend EFU Life's journey, how we went about it. Go attend a Toastmasters meeting for yourself. Before you make a recommendation or you try to build a proposal for your seniors or your supervisors, or if you're in a leadership role yourself and want to introduce it for your own employees, go attend a club meeting. look at it, talk to the more experienced Toastmasters there, get their views of what it takes to have a successful Toastmasters club. They will tell you that what makes a Toastmasters club essentially successful within a corporate setting is senior leadership buy-in. For us, our CEO was convinced.
Okay.
Like eyes closed. Yes, do it. Absolutely do it. And we didn't need to sell to him that we want to start this club. He was already like, why haven't you done it yet? Go do it quickly. अभी तक हुआ क्यों नहीं?
So that would be the same thing you would be telling the other people.
And one of the reasons why we were able to actually then successfully introduce Toastmasters into EFU Life is because as leaders ourselves, and knowing that the CEO is also so supportive, it was easy for us to execute. But if you're not in a leadership role, or if you're not in a manager, or in a decision-making capacity where you can just implement it, and you then work hard to win that support first, before you open up for membership, before you look for a charter, before you do any of that, go get that support. Why am I recommending that? Is because once that support from your organization is there, then your club will have legs. It will last long. Once that's done, then you can go ahead and then I would suggest open up, do a lot of advertising, talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues in the company. That's the third thing I'd recommend. Go do a lot of advertising. We showed a 10-minute video in the company town hall. We talked for 15 minutes. We had banners everywhere. We advertised this like crazy within the company. And then you're good to go.
This was a really, really insightful conversation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's my very great pleasure to be here.